My dog attacked someone, broke into my house. Now my sister-in-law says your dog is dangerous to be around my niece 4F. I 28F, sister-in-law 32F. I used to be in a controlling, abusive relationship. When I finally ended things a year ago, my ex began showing up in unexpected places, begging me to take him back. It eventually escalated into full-on stalking. He would write me crazy, obsessive emails and letters, show up at work, where he eventually just waited outside after being banned, leave notes on my car when I was at the grocery store, leave flowers outside my house, and then stick angry notes on my door after he saw me throw them in the trash. I had to change my phone number multiple times. His behavior escalated over time and became scarier and more dangerous. In one instance, he started a small fire in my yard, but the cops couldn't find enough evidence to link him to it. After that incident, I installed cameras in my yard. Previously, they were only pointing at my doors. I was shocked to learn that the police couldn't do anything about this until my stalker was caught doing something illegal, such as breaking into my house. At that point, I might have already died. I decided I didn't want to spend the rest of my life waiting for the other shoe to drop, so I obtained a gun and a concealed carry license, took some self-defense classes, and began strength training. I also thought about getting an attack dog, but after all the money I'd spent on other forms of protection, they were ridiculously expensive. So, I went to my local animal shelter and got the most terrifying, mean-looking dog I could find. Here's where Thor comes in. He's a 100-pound American bulldog who looks like he'd rip your throat out on sight, but is actually a massive teddy bear. He loves everyone he meets, is extremely sweet with my 4-year-old niece, enjoys other animals, and even the delivery driver. I just accepted that he would probably not do anything to protect me from my stalker. But it didn't matter because having such a large dog gave me so much confidence. I took Thor everywhere I could and was working on training him to be an emotional support animal so I could bring him inside places with me. I would not do this until he was well trained enough not to disrupt a regular service dog. Last month, I awoke in the middle of the night to hear Thor whining. I was groggy and assumed he needed to go to the bathroom, so I got out of bed and opened the door. At that point, my house alarm went off and I found myself face to face with my stalker. I started screaming. I immediately ran for my gun. Before I could react, Thor hurried across the room in full attack mode. My memory is blurry, but there was blood all over my living room, and I remember my stalker eventually fleeing, at which point Thor chased him outside before returning to me. When the cops arrived, they said Thor was a hero who had probably saved my life. I don't want to tell you what they found in my stalker's car after they caught him, and I'm shaking a little as I type this, but I'm sure he was going to take me somewhere and kill me. It looks like he's going to prison for a long time. So my nightmare is over. Except for my sister-in-law, almost everyone I know thinks Thor is a hero. She and my brother have a 4-year-old daughter, the one I mentioned before, and she says she no longer wants Thor around her daughter. She says Thor has a snapped in the past and could do it again, so he's not safe to be around her. The way she says this makes me angry because Thor did not snap. He saw a stranger break into his house, heard his owner scream in fear, and reacted to protect me. Defend me, himself, and his home. Nothing about that says dangerous around children to me, unless my niece decides to break into my house and threaten me. This is also an emotional issue for me because Thor is more than a dog to me. He's my safe place, my hero, the one who has protected and kept me safe when no one else could. I've also become more stressed and worried since this happened, and I can't go anywhere without Thor. I rarely leave my house. I pay to pick up my groceries from the store rather than going inside because I know Thor isn't allowed in there, and all my friends know that if Thor isn't welcome in their house, I'm not going either, though they are welcome to come hang out at my house instead. I'm really going through it, and I'm working with a therapist to overcome it. But I really need my brothers and sister-in-law's support. I think my sister-in-law thinks I'm just pouting, which is why I won't just leave the dog at home and come over without him. I'm not sure how to explain to them that just because my stalker is in jail doesn't mean the fear has gone away. It's actually much worse than it was before. I had already suggested they come over and I crate my dog, but that wasn't enough for her. How can I make her understand the situation better? TLDR, after my stalker broke into my house, my dog took him down. Now I have severe anxiety and am afraid to be without him, but my sister-in-law believes he is dangerous around my 4-year-old niece. I'm not sure how to make them understand that I'm too afraid to go anywhere without him, and I'm not just trying to win an argument.